Hello, this recording is on 2nd January 1990.
India, that bastard air-splitting argument. Not yours, you are the one that is indulging in the air-splitting argument. That's why I am trying to look at this way also. If you are interested in finding out for yourself and by yourself what is there now, then there is a meaning. You don't understand that you are creating what you see there through the knowledge that is given to you. What you read about the spirit, what you read about the soul. If the knowledge is not there, what do you think you will find there? If there is no entity there, what is there to reincarnate? If you want to believe, that's your privilege. But you will be a menace to the world. If you believe in reincarnation, you will destroy all those who do not believe. I will never destroy anybody, whether you believe in reincarnation.
Those in the West who do not believe in reincarnation are not destroyed.
They believe in God. God comes handy to those people to kill. Jesus was the worst. I tell them, thank God I was not there at that time. I did not have a hardware shop. I would have supplied them with more nails. Now there is a story that he stage managed the whole thing.
There is another interpretation. Before he was crucified, he died of heart failure.
No, but he ate some mushrooms. There is a book called Jesus is a Mushroom. And he had all those fantasies and believed that he was son of a god. To cover up the fact that he was son of a bitch, he invented this, that he was the son of a god. He was a bitch. And he believed that she was a virgin. Oh, come on. And a white elephant entered the womb of Yashoda. And Buddha was the product. What is her name?
He was a white elephant here.
Kunti, that bitch. He attributed to Surya. In the light of what you is teaching, you have to rewrite Mahabharata, Ramayana, Bhagavad Gita. And they will kill me. That's what this president of the Jungian Foundation told. In the end, it is not there that King destroyed the second half of the exam. Yuji, listen, you are destroying culture. You are destroying science. You are destroying the very foundation of thinking. They will kill you there. Thank God you are not there on any platform. You stop saying all these things on the television. They are not going to have you for long because it's all run by the business people. Commercial. So I don't care, I said, I will say whatever I want to say and that's the end of it. If they don't want me again...
Yes, you are destroying ethical, spiritual and cultural, every aspect.
Scientific thinking, scientists
not giving an alternative. That's the most dangerous.
If I give any alternative, I will be like those bastards again.
Then what happens to us?
Nothing will happen. You want to ask that question, find yourself in a situation where the knowledge is not operative, you will not ask that question.
It may be for one or two, but millions.
Why are you concerned? Are you concerned about the millions? Never trust a man who says that he is concerned about humanity. Never trust that fellow. He is concerned about himself. He may talk, of concern for humanity, mankind and all that rubbish. We have recorded. Now we stop that.
If not God, at least there is a power.
Why should there be any power? Whatever power is there
is in you.
You are that power. Then you ask me the question, can you create a universe? That bastard never created the universe, God.
All the power is within man means Aham Brahmasmi.
No, not Brahma. Why you want Brahma? I am God, Mad people go there in the mental hospital and say that I am God, I am God, I am God. You are no different from that by saying Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Asmi, Brahma Aham Asmi.
How would we call it by another name called?
I am that, you are that, all right. So you can sit in front of a flower and say, I am that. You say to yourself, I am that, your wife. I am sorry to bring these crude things into the focus. Observer is the observed. It's a joke, sir. Don't touch this. You can read that and give discourses on observer is the observer. How can there be separateness? How can there be, if there is a division, then yes. I told you about this scientist, the top physicist, he will get Nobel Prize. You don't talk of that nonsense to me.
Observer and the observed doesn't exist so far as he is concerned, so far as we are concerned.
So you will live in misery and die in misery. You have no chance. You can read the Mandukya Upanishad backwards, forwards, memorize everything, repeat, interpret, do what you like. It doesn't touch anything there. It has not touched anything there in you. I'm sorry. What are you doing? Only thinking these thoughts. Dialectics, that's all that is there, but it has not touched anything in you or anybody.
Please tell me what will touch us.
You will not be here first. You will not ask those questions. You will not go to anybody. You will not listen to anybody. It is too late for you to even bother about. You are a retired man, so so you don't have to go to a school and learn, get some truth.
You want us to be born again.
Huh?
You want us to be born again.
No, you are not going to be born again. Nature is waiting for you to die, so that it's only interested in your body, not in your soul, not in your God.
If it is interested only in my body, what happens to think that I was trying to maintain continuity?
That is the one thing. That is the one thing you are not ready after living. I don't know how old are you.
I am 65.
Another 20 years, 30 years, maybe if you are lucky enough, you will live. Is that all? All that is coming here in all your life. You have gathered all these experiences, you have gathered wealth, you have gathered all this knowledge, you have gathered a big family. Is that all? The moment you ask that question, you have become a sucker for somebody coming up with some theory. That is why these people are interested in. They have everything that they can ask for, materialistic speaking. So is that all? The moment you ask that question, is that all? Then there is somebody to exploit that situation and take you for a merry-go-round. Put you on a merry-go-round. So you have already become, you see, a victim there.
I asked that question myself. Not in the public, I don't go to a guru.
Yeah, all right. What is the
I ask
answer?
the question myself.
Yes.
I try to find an answer.
That is the
myself.
most idiotic, stupid question to ask, and the question cannot stay there. Any answer you give is given by somebody else, not yours. You have no answer of your own. Is that all? It repeats itself, is that all? Then it is a false. Because there is no answer. You can repeat that question 100 times. If the answers given by others is not there, unfortunately it is full of that nonsense. You depend upon them. You accept the authority.
In spite of my coming here many times.
You can come here. If you are not listening to me, you are still listening to Shankara. So what happened, Chandrasekhar?
No, he said it takes time. Tomorrow, day after.
What is wrong with it?
It is stuck inside.
That's all.
That is normally it should not happen.
It happened.
It happened.
Anything you touch. So I am suggesting that she should go to Singapore and have the whole thing transferred on to the PAL system and come back, 4,000 rupees a ticket. It's more than 4,000, no? Round trip ticket to Singapore from Madras. Or wait until the next month. So she wants to use this camera. Yes. Cows there. I and the cow sitting there. When we went for a walk in Delhi, and it was 7 o'clock, the cow was there. I stood by the side of the cow. And Frankie boy, there is no difference between the two. That has 4 stomachs, I have only 2 stomachs. I am also chewing the cud. That is chewing the cud. That is the choiceless awareness. It's not an instrument to be used, it's looking at like that, the 2 eyes. And I am also looking at it. He burst into laughter and they thought that he was crazy. People around, why is this fellow laughing like this? They said, that's all. That is also chewing the cud, it has 4 stomachs, I have only 2 stomachs. That's the difference. Today she took many pictures in front of a cow there. Black and white. That's all I had. No difference from the
Once
cow.
you said the same thing. You said the same thing once in that house.
Yes.
On the balcony, there was a buffalo. It was in afternoon at 12 o'clock, hot sun. buffalo was not moving at all. And he called me and said, look at that. He said, strange, it was not moving. He said, that is the choiceless awareness.
And then also, another day, they were talking of the sacredness Ramana Maharishi, and that particular year, I think they celebrated the centenary of some such thing. The paper carried a huge one full-page picture of Ramana Maharishi. And it was there in the street. The cow dropped its shit on that. I wouldn't mind doing that. I don't do it because I don't want to prove anything, that it doesn't mean a damn thing to me whether it's Ramana Maharishi or somebody else there. The thought, the importance you give to that man, the image you have of that man, you see, is important to you, but for the cow, I'm also, but I wouldn't do that because I don't prove anything by that, and say, hurt the feelings of you guys unnecessarily. But it really doesn't matter. You have an image of that fellow. You think he is an enlightened man, and you have printed a big thing, and one cow drops the shit there, the other cow use it there. Otherwise it eats it up for food, and the printing ink is the curry powder for that. Yes, that's right. And that's the kind of milk we get here. This is stop that, Chandrasekhar. You have enough of this.
Yoga has no.
No, that pleases you, satisfied.
Comfort, yes, you can do it.
But I have another life.
Guruji was in his previous life.
And now he knows about my past life. What was my...
So many of them.
Yes, what
He
was...
was the Lama, Tibetan Lama, Dongre Danchi Rinpo.
They even knew my name, sir.
Dongre Danchi Rinpo was his name. He was a Tibetan Lama.
Tibetan Lama.
My Guru told me.
He's Guru too. And he was the grandfather of that. What is your relationship? Come on, Ivan.
Ram Sesha.
Our grandfather. So that means you were also related in my previous life.
Previous birth.
Oh my God. You are not here for nothing, Chandrasekhar.
Tibetan Guru and this way, so okay,
I can tell you something more interesting than that. His wife, ex-wife, what was she, Gandhi reborn or
Kasturi.
Kasturi?
No.
Come on, tell me.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Leonardo, what artistic talent she had.
Leonardo da Vinci.
No, but who was Gandhi?
That is
sister-in-law.
sister-in-law. Yes.
Gandhi, in his previous life. His wife's ex-wife's sister was Gandhi in her previous life. And so you apply that test and check my past birth by name.
Who said all that?
His guru.
You have got a guru.
So he had.
Ex-guru.
Ex-guru. Oh boy. People can believe in anything. What was my name?
Dongre Danchi.
What did I do?
No, Lamas.
Last time, Lama is a cheap one, not the top one.
Lama, Dalai Lama. No, yes, Dalai, like the head of that.
Oh my.
Group.
At least some status. At least some good
Is
status.
enlightenment by one is
What is Yoga Brashta? Why that word is used in the book?
That is what my grandmother told. Because when she watched me from my childhood, this fellow, something strange. So he must have almost gotten there in his previous life. By hair's breadth, he did something, he missed it, so he has to be born again.
But the experience is very much there.
Yoga Prastha is your Gita, isn't it? Not Ayurveda.
how were you
You are
raised
right.
as a baby?
But it came in the Nadi.
They didn't use the word Yoga Prastha.
I see.
This very life he will attain moksha. How did they know?
But the Komalani said that 49 years from this calamity.
They are still speculating who was the man that put me on the right path. Valentine appeared all right and made it easy for me to live in the best for good. But who was that fellow that put me on the right path?
We don't know. It was all
That everybody is speculating in.
Not Ramana. Ramana
Because in your autobiography, you have said
autobiography I never wrote.
that is in the second book, you know.
You must be knowing.
You mentioned that.
I am not responsible for anything that is I did not write anything. They would like to find something, some cause for whatever happened to me. Otherwise, cannot accept that whatever I did, whatever I did not do, put me wherever I am. You cannot accept that. Also, everything is irrelevant. How can you accept my statement that meeting Valentine or Valentine meeting me is irrelevant? So why you are doing still, why you are concerned about her? I am not concerned about her. Tomorrow I will dump her just like this. If things don't go well. It is something not because of my gratitude, thankfulness, nothing. Some person was with me traveling 25 years, she cannot travel anymore, so I get off the train, I have to continue my journey, Chandrasekhar look after me. She is lucky to have him. I am a monster.
Another incarnation is looking at.
No, he was my grandfather. What was his previous? Ramaseshwara was what?
Ramseshaya was
Her mother's
Saul's mother's father.
grandfather. Her grandfather. And my father's some relationship they
Same
had.
brothers. They were your father's
So
father.
in his previous life also he was related to.
Surely all of us must have had a place also.
And what about his ex-wife's sister? Is a reincarnation of Gandhi. And also who is his wife? Another sister-in-law.
Kasturibai.
Kasturibai. Another.
All strange, you know.
So you can put all these things together and discredit what she said about me. That's logic, you apply your logic.
Every time you say shoot that bastard, that man must have had some mistake in the past.
With me.
Something probably not reconcilable. That is why
Sir, Ramakrishna, Sri Ramakrishna used worst words compared to him.
that is not been taken over.
They deleted all those words. I asked Vikramananda,
Expletives.
why you did it? You see, it's unexpurgated edition. Unexpurgated edition you should have published. It's there in Bengali. They all know that. But that would destroy the image of that man.
Ramana didn't do it.
Ramana, I don't know. Chumma irda, chumma he used it. Anytime anybody asks the question, chumma. Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up. Shut up. He said, chumma irda.
Bhagavatar was repeating that.
Yes. Chumma irda. For every question anybody asks, chumma irda. Chumma irda means shut up. In Tamil. Just keep your big mouth shut.
That is usually Italian way of everybody expresses.
Yes, that's the common word. He didn't call anybody a bastard at the beach. Bastard is only means not a genuine man. That's what the dictionary says. I go by the meaning. First definition is of course the usual one. Jesus was the bastard.
Jesus the bastard.
Karna was a bastard. So she said, this son impregnated her. And here some God knows what. Roman soldier. That I can never forget. Guru. And some Christian came and asked, told me, I believe in the Virgin Mary, you Jesus. And they said, I said, you know, that one Roman soldier raped Mary, and the result was Jesus. At that time, they said, his wife, she is a Catholic. She was coming up, you got it wrong. She raped that Roman soldier. Get this straight. And I repeated this in Rome, next door to the Vatican. And even Even the communist member of the parliament, he said, this is too much. This is too much, and I am not going to listen to it. I agree with you, not here. This time I stayed in his house. He left the parliament after listening to me. Communist member, what is his name? Guido something. So all by myself I stayed there. Of course they came and took Marisa.
You can say
He has 500 cows, a farm. 500 cows, 5,000 liters of milk every day they sell. He hates milk. He uses probably for his coffee or tea some, what is the milk they have? Non-dairy products. Because he hates milk. 5,000 liters every day he produces. Right, sir, thank you.
how it is
Sooner or
possible.
later. Otherwise,
How it is possible.
I will continue to live. Through your memory I live, even today. So it will continue. There is not much that anybody can do or bother about.
So usually lives through our memory.
Your memory is not yours, it's a tradition. So you have to succeed in putting
First, we live because of the memory.
that memory.
Otherwise, I don't know whether I am living or not.
You have no way. If you ask the question, are you alive or dead? My answer is born out of the common knowledge you and I have of a living person. So I am using your knowledge. Look, you see,
So we are like a dummy, they play this dolls, by tying a puppet.
Yes, puppet.
By whom? There is no player there.
So we are not even a dummy.
No, that is only a simile I use for the fellow who interviews me. But there is nobody who is pulling these strings. Time the time. 8:30. Right. The early
How do you explain this scientifically?
Huh?
How do you explain this scientifically?
Why is it not explainable scientifically? You are asking the question, are you alive? And the question is born out of the knowledge you have of a living man, and that knowledge is given by some doctor who has observed certain things. The question is born out of the knowledge you have. If that knowledge is absent, it is always present in you. You have no way of knowing whether you are alive or dead. So there is no birth and no death. Whatever is born is destroyed the moment it is born. That's the way it is operating here. This body is going through the process of dying every moment. So it is not concerned whether it will be born again. So there is no birth and no death for this body at all. Even when you die, when it becomes a corpse, it is continuing. It is providing the continuity of life. The very putrefaction of that body is a living thing. You are only interested in defining what is life. What is life you will never know. Nobody will be able to tell us anything about living. What we mean by living is how to live. Our relationships, living, not life. Nobody will be able to experience what is called life. You can give 100 different definitions.
But there should be something best in that.
Huh?
There should be something very superior. So
I think that is the basic folly, the tragedy of mankind, is to believe that the human species is created. If there is any creator who is responsible for that, for a grander and nobler purpose than the mosquito that is sucking your blood. That is where we have gone wrong. We have separated ourselves from the totality of things. And we have believed and still believe that the whole world is created for the benefit of man. And that is the reason why we have created all these ecological problems, created the problems of pollution, and created every problem that is pushing us towards nothing but a total destruction. You may say it is a doomsday song. You are a negative, you are not positive, you are pessimistic, you are optimistic, not optimistic, and so on and so forth. But you are not any more important in the scheme of things than all the other species on the planet. So this idea that we are superior, that the whole thing is created for our benefit, will wipe us all out. If human species disappear, nothing is lost. Unfortunately, we will take all the other forms of species on this planet, and what will be left is not your concern. Nature is not interested whether 100 species, 1,000 species survive. What they say is true. Out of the animal species we have on this planet, 95% are extinct. What we have on this planet is only 5% of what existed before. If you take the plant life into consideration, what we have is only 0.5 of what existed before. I don't know. My source of information is what I read in the Time magazine. You can check with them if these statistics are correct or not. So what is so important about the human species which have been extinct a long time ago? The nature would have created a grander and a nobler form of species in our place. What has become possible for us to survive longer than the other species is what we call the thought. The thought is a protective mechanism, and anything that is born out of thought is destructive. So that's what is going to happen.
This statement appears to be a little contradictory. When
What?
you say thought is a protective mechanism.
It is protecting itself. That's what I am saying. Its own continuity, its own status quo. So anything you discover in the laws of nature are used by us for destructive purposes and not for the benefit of us all. Even the laws of nature which we have discovered are used for destructive purposes. It is possible for us to enjoy the television, we can live in comfortable places, and what you call progress is really not the progress. It is possible for me to go to the United States now from London to New York in 3 hours. If and when the hypersonic planes are put in operation, we will be able to cover the same distance in 1.5 hours. But how many thousands and thousands of planes you are using to destroy life and property? I am not against progress. People ask me, why do you use all these modern conveniences and comforts? I grew up in a place where the only mode of transportation was a bullock cart. I am not like that. Gandhi to reverse, put the clock back and go back to the days of bullock carts. Whatever mode of transportation is there available to me, I am conscious of the fact that everything we are doing is polluting the atmosphere. Yesterday one ecologist was here and he was arguing that it is one of the most important, I agree that it is more important than the nuclear war. But what is it that you are doing? Shoot that bitch, Maneka Gandhi, first I said. Why? Because she is not doing anything to stop the wastage of paper. When we have this electronic equipment for our use, why should you have books? Why should you have newspapers? Why should you use papers for even plastic cards? They are using some fiber from the eucalyptus tree. What is it that you are doing? It's only a political job she has today, and she's not going to do anything. Are we ready? If encyclopedia can be put, the whole of encyclopedia can be put on a small disc, you should do away with all these books. There is another way of reading your newspapers. Another way of conducting everything you see through the help of electronics. So what is it that are you ready to stop that first? That's the most important thing. All the libraries should be eliminated. All the book publishers will go out of business, but probably you will replace them with some other electronic equipment. You can read your newspapers there. What is it that they are doing? Harmonistry is destroying so many eucalyptus trees by sending all these communications. I'm giving it as an example. I don't care for her. I don't even want to see her. They wanted me to meet her. So what are you doing? It's a great big joke. All these people, shoot them on sight and at sight. All these ecologists. What are they doing? They hold conferences. That bastard has nothing else to do. Prince Philip, he wants to save a whale. What for I want to know? Or some sea. somewhere here. It's a joke. All these people have nothing else to do, and very wide, big publicity you have to say one way for whose benefit he is doing. How many other species have disappeared? You may say, I'm a cynic. I'm not a cynic. I'm a realist. My feet are very firmly fixed on the ground. I want to look at the things exactly the way they are, not superimposing on it our fancy ideas and fantasies. What are they doing? The Queen Anne has nothing else to do. So she comes up with some fancy thing. They have given her a political job, Meneka. She's not going to achieve anything. It's not an easy thing. I have shares in the General Motors. Do you mean to say I will forego my dividends to save the exhaust fumes and do something about it? Not at all. I have a friend who had a car. Every time he went out, he was blaming the other fellow, forgetting that his car is also contributing, you see, to the, whatever you call it, the pollution. Strange people.
Sir, when you say that the human species is doing something destructive,
The only human species are destructive.
then what is supposed to be done?
Why are you concerned about, you stop, you see, first and don't bother about what to do in its place.
Just keep quiet.
You and I may keep quiet, others are not interested in
But they also keep quiet.
They are not, you see, this is a hypothetical situation here. Nobody is going to keep quiet. Even if you, in your own microscopic way, stop using paper, stop using stamps, stop paying taxes, the war will go on. You know? You may say that, you see, by denying yourself food once a week, you are helping the starving people. You see, it's only comfortable to think like that. And you have what is called the do-gooder's high. That's a self-centered, selfish action on your part to share your food with somebody else. The only real thing to solve the problem is to blow up us all. They don't have, you see, the strength and energy to do that. You have invented the thing called reincarnation. They did something terrible in their past lives, and that is why they are starving. And next life they are going to have wonderful meals. What a joke it is. The whole idea of reincarnation. Attributing your present suffering, basic needs are denied. And that you attribute to the theory of reincarnation. You swallow all that kind of
What is
thing.
your answer, sir?
My answer is to blow up, but that is not, everybody else is protecting. You are protecting, you are individually responsible for that. I am not talking of changing the world. The world is not going to change. Individually, there isn't a damn thing that you can do. Collectively means war.
We have recent examples of Gorbachev doing something wonderful.
He is a bastard. He is a traitor to the cause of communism. How many thousands and thousands of people have died for the cause of communism? If he wants answers for his system to survive, he should not look to the West. That's an easy thing. Just the way we are all looking to the past. And the Joker talked of, Ramarajya in this country. Gandhi talked of Ramarajya. How many people died there during the freedom movement? You tell me? Those who are getting, the freedom fighters' money, they were not even born during that. I know a lot of them. Those who really sacrifice their lives, they are not even interested in collecting anything. Which is a very horrible situation. How can you justify that? In the name of love, you are killing. In the name of kindness, I quoted that in the interview, in the Theosophical Society. Whosoever acts lovingly will inevitably come to the temple of divine wisdom. The generousness passage. Every day, every lecture I repeated that nonsense. In the name of love, we have destroyed more things. So if he wants to find an answer, Gorbachev, for his system, he has to find the answers within that framework and not look to America or any other country. Do you know what's happening there? They are opening McDonald's there. They are opening the Kentucky Fried Chicken things. Nothing wrong. Is that all? These people have an opportunity to exploit that country and sell their goodies. They are only looking for a market. They are not interested in solving the problem there. Why do you want to export organically grown potatoes from Idaho or potatoes for the potato chips there? Is that all? So these people now have an opportunity to have the marketing done there. That's all. They are not interested in freedom of those people.
What is it should be done, sir?
What?
For the
I am not running that country, sir. I am not running. I am just pointing out the absurdity of believing that they all have become suddenly. He is going to face. That fellow will either be shot dead or he will be thrown out very soon.
He may be awarded Nobel Prize.
No, but you can award the Nobel Prize to some joker here and bring him here. He will become a refugee in the United States. That's all that you can do. But he's not going to solve the problem. Now it is already happening all along the coast of Iran. They are going to welcome all these Muslims. I want to see that happen there in Russia and not freedom. It's going to happen. I am not a prophet. Once the Muslims are out in that country, the joker is going to be guillotined there. Or you bring him in a plane and give him a Nobel Prize, Peace Prize, and give him a refuge somewhere there in the United States. That's all that you are going to do. He needs this fellow's help. Gorbachev needs Bush's help. He is a partner in the peace. Is it in our interest that these great superpowers should get together? They are going to blackmail all these third nation countries. It is not in our interest that they should get together. Not at all. The 9 rich nations sit there in Basel. Switzerland is one of the most absurd countries in the world. Takes advantage of everything there. They decide the fate of those people who grow, what they need for their chocolates, cocoa. They fix the price. If you don't sell, you have to rot there. The 9 rich countries control the resources of the world today. Do you mean to say they are going to give up? Unless they are challenged. They have entrenched themselves there. They have the most powerful weapons to defend themselves there. If that is challenged, if they have to lose everything, they are going to fight to the last minute, last moment and last chance. So you and I are not really interested in mankind or humanity, are we?
Because
Are you honestly?
Because I am a human being.
You are not. That's a joke. That's a joke. Human being. You don't talk of human being. You are not really interested in humanity or man. What is responsible for this strong feeling that you know that you are coming to an end one day? There is no way you can invent reincarnation and talk of that you are going to be in Victoria in your next life or Mahatma Gandhi or whatever it is in the next life. But you see, at least that mankind, humanity should survive. It's an extension of the demand for permanence that makes us all feel that humanity should survive, humanity should continue forever. That's all. Otherwise, you are really not interested in mankind, you are not interested in humanity at all. What is humanity after all, you and I put together? How can there be any unity? They say, now tell me. You are separating yourself every moment from everything. You are separating yourself, what you call, is separating itself from your own feelings. If you are separating yourself from anger, for whatever reason, because those jokers have told us that you should be free from anger. You are not free from anger. Tomorrow or next day or in your next life you are going to be free from anger. Anger cannot be separated from that living organism. Have you ever seen a dog? How to be free? If hormone is, as they say, you see, the desire is a hormone, the whole nonsense of your codes of ethics collapses. There is no way you can say that spiritual desire is nobler, higher and grander than the materialistic. Even the spiritual demands are only for strengthening and fortifying your material needs. The demand for moksha is the most materialistic demand that. That's the mission of this man. That's not my mission. I don't care. So in 10 years' time, he will finish that man completely his teaching. Will nobody ever bother about except those people who have to make a living on that kind investment. So that is the mission of this man. He said that's the only way you can do it is to go public, use every. He said that, you see, in the moon. You will go public. That does not mean that you will give public talks like the old man or foundations, nothing. You will use the most powerful medium that is available for man in every part of the world. So everybody has to come to know of this man by the end of 10 years. He repeated that this time.
When did he say that, sir?
10 years ago he said.
Were you influenced by that?
No.
Are you starting focusing on that? Actually, everybody has suppressed.
What forced me to go public is pictures like this hanging around. I don't want these people seekers. And everybody is interpreting what I am saying in terms of
Their own ideas.
their own ideas. I don't want that. So he is not interested in anything. He is using me. He makes money by writing. He is sick and tired of writing about Krishnamurti, about Rajneesh, about Muktananda and all those people. So he is looking for a new subject. I am looking for a medium like that, and not the religious people. I will be abetting in this crime by allowing this kind of a thing to happen. I have done the greatest harm to what I have found by letting people to sit around and discuss. Those 2 books will be wiped out. My mission is to tear apart. That's what I am doing. Anytime anybody throws a sentence at me from the book, I tear that apart. Even at the risk of people calling me, you are inconsistent. I don't want to talk about the mistake of enlightenment, the description. It is neither physical nor psychological transformation. So that book gives the impression that it is more a physiological than a psychological one. At that time I was surrounded by these Krishnamurti freaks in Sana. They were throwing all those phrases at me. Krishnamurti and Lingo. So I had to answer that way, but even that, it is neither physiological nor psychological, because there is nothing there to be transformed. So this is also misleading. That has to be corrected by me. Not for pristine purity or anything. I am not interested. But I have been doing great injustice to myself and to the people who hang around me by allowing them to hang on. No.
But what do you say about the physiological changes that occurred then?
That is a side effect, the shifting of balance. That's all. Like an earthquake, if it hits you, the shifting in the equilibrium takes place and the body is released not only from the totality of man's experiences, but the influence of that thought of the chemistry of your body has to be thrown out.
That is true, but the effect of earthquake can only be seen that way.
Not the way you see is quite different. The earthquake is a very important thing in the scheme of things, nature. Volcano is important. Hurricanes are important, part of the nature's functioning. But that's not in your interest. You lose property, you lose life. You have to declare all these areas as disaster areas. You have to send money, pour money from everywhere. No. So 70,000 people that died in Armenia, they are essential for the energy level.
But you are maintaining, all you do, you still maintain that the solutions for the human problems is only there.
Where?
The death of the individuality.
Yes.
And
That cannot
such
be,
an earthquake
that
coming-
cannot be made to happen.
It cannot be made to
Then what is
happen,
the
but
problem?
still the solution lies only
Not
there.
just the word you are picking solution, the answer to the human problem is a complete, total destruction of mind and the identity, the way it has happened in the case of Valentine. The only difference is that is caused by defective functioning of the brain.
Yes.
This is something, a natural thing that will destroy
Yes,
mind and...
only then a person, an individual will be freed from all the problems that he is
But
facing.
he is of no use to himself, no use to the society. So you cannot make him a spiritual teacher and follow him. No.
At least his problems are solved for him.
What value is that to you? He is no good to you. He is no good to the world.
No, if it
What you want
if it happens
what
to
the
me,
world wants is the same.
no, if it happens to me,
It is
the
not
problems are, I am finished.
No, they are solved in a different way. What you want is to hold on to all this. That is why I am telling the people, don't cut jokes like this. I told you about this scientist there, who is an authority, physics, space, time. Look here, there is no space. Where is your wife? It never occurred to me, he said. Never occurred to me that I have to function in this space, otherwise everything is finished, including my research. I will never talk of these things at all. You know, the things happen not for your benefit. You are interested in this kind of a thing to solve your petty little personal problems. No? It is a disaster of that kind, but no value. Your interest is the value system. Huh?
It is a disaster.
It's a disaster for the value system. Your interest is to fit yourself into that value system. My head, I don't want to talk to him. He has to come here.
Is it not correct to say that the changes are physiological? Because after all that, the individual still is alive, as we say, one is alive.
Not in the sense with which you say he is alive. Never there tells him that he is alive or dead. So for that individual there is neither birth nor death.
Still he sees and talks and...
You are talking, that's all. What I am talking is you are
No,
talking.
identity. Every time you said, what is there to die? You always say.
Ever?
Ramakrishna.
Huh?
Jai
My brother-in-law.
She was hating him very much.
Sitting is on, you know.
Close it.
Can't see. How they stay.
Then how is
My
it
brother-in-law, father person.
Where, sir?
My wife's brother.
Hyderabad.
Yes, my Madras. He came here, his daughter, that movie star. He hated me so much.
He read that book, The Mystic of
That mistake he made.
That was his mistake.
That was a mistake he made, and then he changed completely. A great admirer of beauty.
But how is it in that book you have said that?
Everything I said in the book.
It's a physiological change and not a...
Don't I have a right to destroy everything? I said I am not interested in destroying anybody's teachings. What is there? That book has done enormous mischief. Gives impression to the people, and they are even stimulating some of those things. Huh? When that fellow wanted to discuss their, what is his name, Misleading, all that Kundalini business, I just walked out of the studio. Hell with your program. I don't want to talk about it.
They will generally, the human tendency is to take the statements to support their ideas. That will always be there.
To tell what is there in those two books
Sir,
apart.
if you say it's not even a psychological change, what about these glands you are talking about?
The glands are not activated because of the influence of culture. It is not your Kundalini, it is not your Agna Chakra, it is not any of those.
Still they are glands.
Yes, but the body has not evolved to its fullness. That's what I am saying. The nature is trying to create perfect species. The culture has imposed the idea of a perfect being, and that has destroyed the whole thing to blue in its own natural way. It doesn't care even if they don't He's not interested in that way. If the whole thing is wiped out, nature is not worried about your pollution, not worried about your rainforests, nothing. It's your problem.
Yes, you said during those times also that these yogis speculated that those things are chakras.
Chandrasekhar, certain statements were made in response to a question.
Yes, that is
But
true.
they are not valid anymore.
Yes.
For me, why don't you take my word today?
No, I am telling you, even then
What
you
is
said
the
that.
point? What is the point in referring to what I said 20 years ago? You may say that I am inconsistent. At this moment, what I am saying is important. By quoting that book, you are making it more difficult than quoting the Upanishads or Gita or Jai Krishnamurti. What for? Why you give importance to that? That makes it difficult for you to understand what I am trying to put across. Now, my own statement is blocking. I made some time ago. That's the reason why I am saying anything I say now, moment I express it, it is dead. For me, there is no such thing as truth for me at all. It may be a truth at this moment, next moment it is wiped out. Why you give importance to what I said 10 years ago and quote that silly book, Mind is a myth.
Do you still get this pineal gland where you feel that there are no more orders? There is no thoughts are involved.
Thoughts are not there even in you, Chandrasekhar, I am saying. They are not there inside of you. They always come from outside. It is not spontaneous, not self-generated. There are no thoughts, let alone thinking thoughts. There is no consciousness. Why talk of subconscious, unconscious? Why you don't listen to me now? What I said is important.
What is there then? What is there?
Why are you asking? You want to know what is there in its place? How idiotic that question is? How can you know? What will be there in that place? Love, bliss, beatitude, should that bastard. Anybody who describes that state is a folly, selling some shoddy piece of goods because you fall for that love, bliss, compassion. What for? How can you describe that state?
Can we take it that these glands are nothing to do with the body?
Yeah?
These glands,
They are integral part of the body.
that means we have spoken about these glands.
Then the body functions in a very natural way. It is not interested in your spiritual things at all. Thrown out of the system. All your spiritual experiences are worthless. So all that you consider sacred, holy, the great teachers and their teachings have been thrown, flushed out like the toilet. You are not ready. Toilet, worse than shit there. Buddha's consciousness in you is a shit. You will not understand unless the whole thing is thrown out. So how can you use this shit? As long as anything you touch is turned into shit. It's not my anger against some joker, Krishnamurti or Buddha or Sankara. What are they? Tiny, weeny little dirt, filth, contamination. You are not ready to accept that. Why you quote this and throw it away? I am not saying it is a game. It's not worth bothering. Let them sell, let them make money, let them read. That's why I don't want to see anybody quote anything from that book. To me.
No, I am coming to this point, psychological one.
Psychological, very psychological.
Physiological, sir.
Huh?
physiological.
Why you are still talking of the physiological? You are still concerned about the psychological.
No, not psychological.
Then
Physiological.
you can't talk about, there is no need to talk about the physiological.
So when we refer to glands, that existence of
Why you don't refer to the, when I say that heart is there just to pump the blood. If you practice kindness, you will have a cardiac arrest, that's for sure. Any action that is born out of that kindness will most deadly, unkindly actions. It is a self-centered activity. You feel good that you are a kind man. You are a worthless man. He doesn't need your kindness. That takes away the human quality. Not even the animals act that way. Only a human being, you call a human being, practicing these virtues, kindness, love, are the ones that are destroying everything. The animal does not kill just for food, nothing else. It can't eat the whole thing, leaves it there. The rest of the animals can enjoy the food. Only the man, psychological, physiological, spiritual, and hold on to that is forever. My children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, that bastard concerned about the purity of his teaching to be passed on, he is no better than that woman there who wants to save things for the grandchildren. If he was obsessed with his own teaching as a revolutionary teaching, too bad. You must feel sorry for that bastard. Not listen to that fellow. He may have been very clever in playing with words using actor. No better than the Krishna or no better than the N.T. Rama. Actor, successful. You should see those evangelists there. There is no match to them. You don't bother, just say, don't bother about that book, what I said. Even this is in your nonsense. Put it off. What I am saying at this moment is important for me. Not what I said yesterday. You may say I am an inconsistent man. Consistency is only for those who are bothered about the continuity of thought, logic, rationality. It's an irrational thing from that point of view. Unrational, not irrational, unlogical. The man who prepares himself all his life has no chance. He may become a fully enlightened man and sell some shoddy things, promise enlightenment. How can a man who says that there is nothing there to be transformed suggest anything, Chandrasekhar, you tell me? That there is no enlightenment at all. How can that man suggest anything, any path? You may talk of pathless path. Should that bastard who talks of the pathless, playing on words. You are stuck with those empty words. When there is no enlightenment, when there is no transformation, I can say that. You can't say that.
So whatever nature has done to you, do you think that such a thing has happened earlier?
I am not interested. They were all con men, con themselves, and con the whole of mankind. They are responsible for the tragedy of mankind. The only way you can save yourself is flush that out, that shit that has accumulated for centuries. It doesn't mean that you will go and destroy the temples, burn all the books. Nothing, you will not touch that at all. You will not touch these books. Mind is a myth and the other one, what is a mistake. Forget it. It's not out of humility or politeness that I am saying.
No, that's correct. You are throwing out everything. Does it mean that you are going to accept this one? Definitely.
It's very interesting. That fellow, he did not think that I was angry. Our Kushwant Singh, boy, this energy that is coming out of this man, I have never seen anywhere in my life, he said. I have seen from Godman to everybody. What vitality, what energy. Huh? He left it. So it is not anger, it is not any of those things. What do I care? I don't care for any of those people, Krishnamurti or Buddha or Shankara. It does not mean that I am superior. No. I am certain that they found themselves. Don't ask me the question, how can such people con themselves and con me? They were not men of integrity. That question has no meaning. Obviously it has not helped you. What value has that? What value has Ramana Maharshi for you? You tell me. Whether he was enlightened or not is of no importance. Whether Buddha was an enlightened man or not, whether I am enlightened or not, what value has it? If I say something, follow this, it doesn't work. Does it? It leaves you with a hope. One day it's going to be that way. Honestly, Chandrasekhar, I don't want to free anybody from their teachers. They can all go back to their gurus. They can all read Krishnamurti's books. I don't even have any compassion for those people. They don't need my compassion. They are fallen people, you see. I am not here to save them at all. You can read those books, live in those gurus. A madman is there, so people still go there and listen to the crap presentation and pay $20, 20 rupees. I don't know how much they pay for this job. You know what he said? I have used Jesus, I have used Bible, I have used all these people to draw people to me. I have succeeded in that. And now I am far superior than all this. And he is mad, or Praveen Babi is mad. Who is mad? That's why I asked these journalists. If that joker says President Reagan poisoned his food and Attorney General poisoned his food, what do you think of that fellow? Huh? And why you listen to that man? And why you condemn this poor girl who is mad, really mad? I am not going to defend her or any such thing or help her. I am not interested. I'm glad she is back and that's a closed chapter. Praveen Babi's chapter is finished. Not actually 5 years ago, but now it is finished. I may see her. She can come and sit here. They asked me, why don't you help? Why should I help? What? I am not running a clinic for mentally.
You were telling her at that time that no power can put you back in the films.
No power. The whole world can try to put you back in the films.
I
No
see
power.
that.
You remember
Yes,
that?
yes.
Yes. No power in this world can put you back and you will be as Mahesh recorded that she will be
Your film career is finished.
Finished.
I see that your career
understand
is
that
finished.
you will be happy.
That was shattering her.
Yes.
She didn't want that
She
to...
came back to prove that I was wrong. No? And she did so many foolish things. Bought the same car, bought the house, bought the... Oh my God. I said, she's coming back, don't bother. It's not prophecy or any such thing or clairvoyance. Nothing. That's finished. Not only that she would be a pig in 10 years. Fat as a pig. And you see that evidence. Nobody believed that when I said that she would be fat as a pig. Mahesh Bhatt has written down.
She talked on the TV also there.
Yes, where?
She said Praveen came on the TV 2 days ago. She was very fat.
Yes. She has issued 1500 page, circulating 1500 page press release. And media is exploiting that situation. I could not avoid answering those questions, so I had to finish now. The chapter is closed for this chapter. I don't want an excess baggage. Let us be practical. I don't have a place. At least I had a place in that time. And I told them I needed her help because I needed somebody to take care of Valentine. That was the reason. She was available. I said, sick. When she said, me or Kim, no, you go. Kim comes. I am not a saint, I am not a holy man, I am not any of those. More than everything. Future is here for me, not tomorrow. You always think future is there, your astrology is no good. Future is already here. You don't want to see the future here. Tomorrow, no. I could see that future. There is nothing that will help her. You read that 1979, what I said about Parveen Babi is there in the Times of India paper. No psychiatrist can help her. It is in the genes. And they all wanted to put her there in the hospital and give her electric shock treatment.
Yes, you said that it is film career that pushed her to this condition.
Now her mother is pushing her to suicide. She will do that. She wants her to become slim, she wants her to go back to the village, she wants her to make money. And what can you tell her? My answer to that is advice to her, you take medicine and throw your mother out of that 14th floor until she's really dead. You know what I told Ramakrishna? Your problems will be solved only when you are dead.
Yes.
Yes, I told him. You die, your family's problems are solved. How cruel.
His wife overheard that.
She overheard.
She felt bad.
The only way you can solve the problem of your family is to die. Then they don't need your help. You don't have to worry. It may sound cruel, that's the way it has happened. She is now living all alone in that house.
Yes.
All the problems are solved. Don't listen to that.
He was the problem.
Huh?
He was the problem.
He was the problem and Sai Baba was the problem. Sai Baba, everything will be all right. You know, the day the marriage is over, you are dead. And that fellow was giving him long life. What is the point? That's the reason why I didn't go to the marriage. How can he be so cruel? He was so hurt.
Yes.
Your God-man is there, avatar is there, you seek his help. I knew that he would die. That day finished. It is not prophecy, it is not astrology. The future is there for me. For their well-being, this fellow has to go. No other way.
Who came to know that?
What?
That for their good, this man should go.
Yes, that now everything is good now.
I know, but it's not a problem.
What is the point in his worrying and destroying the possibility of those people making a life of their own? As long as he is there, nothing will be done there.
He was creating the problem.
He was creating the
So
problem.
he's projecting his ideas of well-being on them. How they should be happy, comfortable and all that. They're quite happy.
They are very, his wife is living all alone now in that house.
He got back the money.
Yes, at least half of it he got back.
So many families.
What is this? How can he be so cruel? I am not cruel. If you want the answer, this is the answer. You know, I knew that he would somehow survive. You know, that will sometimes helps a man. The only thing he wanted was the marriage of his daughter. He wanted my blessings. He will.
That was more.
The day the marriage is finished. And you know, you are a cruel man. You are not a couple. I am not a religious man. I am not a saint. Why should I? If he doesn't like, I don't see. I don't listen.
Once he was discussing his out-of-body experience with UG.
Yes.
He was telling. Then UG said, "Did you check your blood pressure?"
Yes.
Maybe
Sometimes he
because
was telling that he has gone to the astral plane.
astral plane was looking.
Astral
My
travel.
body was
He hit
dead.
the ceiling also. Who was telling somebody? Even Frankie boy. When he was doing meditation, he hit the ceiling. He thought it was hurt. He was telling me. Then I told him, look here, don't do it. These are all silly things. There is no levitation, nothing of the sort. Then he dropped all that.
Those are internal images. Sometimes it becomes like
The body becomes light and probably it moves up.
No, not actually the body.
actually they feel like that.
There is not even astral body, there is no body there. Why bother about astral body?
How is
mental
it
body?
physically he hits
It's
the...
imagination, not real. There is no wound there.
So won't there?
No,
Even it can't be photographed
no,
or...
nothing. They were only jumping from the bed. Once there was a Time magazine piece on the Joker, what was it?
Mahesh Yogi.
Mahesh
Transcendental
Yogi.
meditation.
You know, they challenged him in Geneva. Why don't you show it? He said the atmosphere is not right for me to.
You mean nobody has seen it?
Nobody has seen it. It's not possible.
Even that meditator, that man, Mahesh Yogi.
No. One thing I like about him was he brought lot of money into this country. Everybody else took this money away from this.
Yes.
12 crores that bastard, Rajneesh. All the money made by selling drugs. So there he was a drug peddler. What is the proof, he will ask? How did he manage 12 crores, not lakhs, 12 crores of rupees?
They are very...
As long he said once, what all I need is 5,000 crores. Chandrasekhar, he said 5,000 crores. He has 5,000 crores.
5,000?
Fools, that's all that I need in this world. To give him money.
He said it, is it?
Yes. He changed his name 20 times. Like Baba Free John there, Lava Ananda, another Ananda, Baba Free John. He said, these are all mad people. Changing names every 5 minutes. Somebody is, he said, well, how can the people? Our Guru, I told you, asked all these beautiful women to shave their head. Do you believe that? Now, in this age, at this time?
And men.
And men is, I can understand, Swamis. But not his wife, Indian wife.
For himself.
Huh?
For himself.
Himself, we forget it. His wife should be the first one to shave her head, complete, before you ask the disciples. So they are not to be blamed. The teachers are not to be blamed. You believe in them. Even if they are proved to be fakes, frauds, you will continue to believe. This evangelist there. Rajneesh there. He's a criminal. He should have been put in prison for 135 years. When he comes here and starts, and all these Europeans come and listen to all the crap books. You know? That's all. You love words. What is the point in blaming them? There is no point in blaming them.
Yes.
You feel sorry for you. You are a miserable wretch. They exploit you. He's sleeping, he's in a samadhi.
Because of sentiments and culture, generally people, they want to believe all those things.
Why do they want to come? This Aparajita. Her condition improved.
Her mother said
Insanity
Insanity, yeah? Because she was with me here and she's better. The parents are happy. Yuji helped her. Yuji has not helped her. Or any mad woman.
become worse also.
Yeah. That was the question they were asking, like this bitch asking me. How come Valentine has become what she is after living 25 years with you? Or that Arvind Babi has gone mad after his. She is saying, I have never said that the universal energy has helped me. God, Yuji helped me in every statement. If I say something nasty, she will turn against me and tell the whole world that Yuji has become an agent of Amitabh Bachchan. I guarantee. She will turn against me and say he has already become the agent of Amitabh Bachchan to destroy me. So the mad people were.
Yeah.
No, the statement that Kabir Bey's action, that man's action, this mother's action, results coming in the way, making her insane. Oh.
Yes, but leave her. She needs treatment, help, medical help.
No, that means to say, when somebody says it's a clinical case.
Not somebody. It is a clinical case.
No, how to identify?
So is Rajneesh. If he says that Reagan poisoned his
How to
it is
identify?
worse than a clinical case. You know, now they have found that the intelligence and madness is the same gene. That is why all these people, mad people, are very intelligent. Very, very intelligent by worldly standards.
What happens when they come?
They may not use that intelligence for their benefit. They all love to do menial jobs. They are not simple jobs like washing dishes, her pants.
Yes.
20 times a day. Would you believe that? Valentine's. And they watered the plants there in California.
So much.
So much. They sent me a bill. They killed all the Valentine and Parveen Bobby watering. And they continued this in London. So I changed them into plastic with John Allen's plan. And she said, "You think that I am that dumb Valentine?" They are plastic. So you better water them. Don't kill the plants here. And Parveen
the plastic.
I have
No,
not got
such an
that.
extent it goes. How to such an extent it goes. Human action sometimes.
Or you become a Jehovah Witness. Like him. Stand in the
Now,
crowd.
all those people, how do they feel at home? Why do they feel at home?
What do you mean at home? Where?
When they come to you,
Chandrasekhar, you forget one basic thing. All these years you have been made to believe and you accept that assumption that you become better spiritually, morally. That's the one area this individual will not help you. Because all ethical codes are conduct are false.
are false.
False. Value system is false.
They
So
are-
you think the benefit of being around this man will help you in that area. It will not. It will destroy that. It will destroy the mind. So it is not in your interest to be around this man because it will destroy the identity. It will destroy the mind. And what is left is the physical. Any talent that you have, it will surface. Any potential you have, it will surface. That mad bitch will become mad and mad and mad Parveen. Mahesh had a tremendous talent in him and he's on the top of the world. And Dr. Lin, I knew that he could make plenty of money and not hang around these spiritual people. He's a multimillionaire today. All those people who have come into this orbit have been benefited. If there is no talent like this bitch, it is too bad. She will remain a bitch all her life, throwing some empty phrases of J. Krishna. There is no talent in this bitch. Nothing will happen. Enlightenment, you just forget. If there is any talent, the talent is not the spiritual thing. If once it is accepted that the desire is a hormone, the whole ethical culture collapses. That is a fact. If you use memory to maintain that identity, you will be like Valentine. Valentine is not dead, she is living. Your idea is that she must fit into this society, be functional. You want Parveen Babi to be functional. She is not going to be functional. If you push her, she will commit suicide.
Sir, tell us a little more. You said when they come to you, the mind is destroyed.
No, you are
The talent surfaces.
No, you are protecting it all the time by interpreting what I am saying within the framework of your Sankara, within the framework of your Krishnamurti, within the framework of your cultural system. That is bad. So that is fighting all the time. He does not want this to touch them.
If it loses fighting,
It is not loses. You don't become enlightened or any such
But
thing.
you said the talent surfaces.
When once you see that is not, an overriding factor in your life, then whatever is there surfaces. That not your problems will not be solved that way. You are not interested in that at all. You are interested in holding on to whatever you have and happen to. Not at all. At least, you see, the energy to some microscopic extent is released. This tremendous amount of energy is consumed by that phony pursuit of yours. Not necessarily spiritual pursuit, permanent happiness. When once it dawns on you in a way that you can never be permanently happy, then you see, there is a chance of accepting the fact, not accepting, coming not to terms, whatever word you want to use, you are not going to be permanently happy, you are not going to have permanent pleasure. All that religious nonsense that offers you eternal happiness, eternal no. At least to some extent that energy is available to deal with the problems of this world. This is the only reality. No ultimate reality. Not that you will give up everything. It is not enlightenment that's the problem. It is the demand to be happy always. That is the identity.
So what you are saying is the demand to be happy
is not going to succeed.
Then only the talent will. The talent is something different from.
Yes, certainly. This is physical. Whatever talent is not a cultural talent. The highly evolved physical being, if there is any talent there, I use the word talent for want of a better word. It surfaces. If there is nothing, too bad. Then also you will accept the fact that you don't have any intelligence, you don't have any talent, you have no way. Come, let's go. What time is it? 9:15.
Surfacing as an artist or
anything, murderer, you will become a gracefully murderer.
And if he is destined to become a spiritual teacher, he becomes.
No spiritual teacher is
Like Dada.
one thing that's not,
Dada.
like Dada, like your, what is her name? Sauriyamma. See, as long as she depended upon her father, she didn't have a chance.
Yes.
She is on her own. That is what she has always wanted. Now she wants hospital, she wants schools, she wants a big following, she wants to travel. What happened to the
Documentaries.
Documentaries?
No, she wants to.
She wants to be recognized as a religious teacher. She has that in her. Not a spiritual teacher, not in that sense.
She is happy.
She is happy. She has a big ashram, she has a following. That was what she wanted. So we put her there. And this is dissolved, this ashram. Finished. Brahmachari, what talent? He's a crook. So he has to be a crook. Whatever he is, that will be. That will, whatever he is, he's a crook. Everybody, whatever he is, yes, if he is a murderer, yes, he will murder. And pay the price for it.
And pay the
Price. He's a crook, real crook he is. All those pretensions gone.
No, they are gone.
They are gone.
So coming to you means the mask is removed and the person is.
I have no illusions that I guess that is my job to remove your masks. If you remove one mask, you will immediately have another mask. Impenetrable material. That will do. Come, let's do the process. You get back those tapes. I want to organize the whole thing. Yes. What's that? He sleeps, that's his protection. He doesn't even want to hear. That is the protective mechanism.
Once I try to concentrate,
No, good.
I get sleep. Not only this, if I read serious,
Change the time from 15.
See the TV also I get sleep.
Yeah, 6:12.
Correct you. If you want to let that not be a pretense.
Yeah, you do. Pyro?
I have my 5 minutes for the bank's open. like a cash astrology doesn't teach you much about that should not be the reason for you.
Because we've been finding that, Pluto's